Да, и все процесс в том, что сейчас мы будем играть такую интересную игру, как The Stanley Parable. Выиграть очень сложно, кстати, таймер спросить, да. Всегда забываю спрашивать таймер, секундочку. Таймер, вот таймер, да. Все, таймер сбросил, все, да, поехали. Это игра про офисного работника и про его рабочий день. Вот это монитор, мониторе. Как бы нормально. Так, сейчас я открою чатик на своем телефоне. Хотел сказать на втором мониторе, но у меня его нету. Да. Я знаю. Так, сейчас открою чат на телефоне, секундочку. И вот. Да, еще звук выключить. Все. Офисный работник. Лерк. Ну какой ж Никита, да. Так, начать новую игру давайте. Так, версиентный лоудинг. Ну, я так понял, загрузка, окей. Нажать на загрузку, нет? Ладно. Подождем загрузку. Угу. Лоудинг. Вообще не знаю, про что игра, но она про что-то, да. Вот загрузка. Достаточно долгая загрузка, ну ладно. Подождем. Хотя в сумме тоже была долгая загрузка.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ага. История Стэнли.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Ну, Стэнли работает в компании.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
В одной
Orders came to
комнате.
him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push.
Можно субтитры. Сейчас, я помню, здесь были субтитры. Я когда лазил здесь. Достижение выключено. Ну пусть будет. Достижение открыто, достижение. Ну да. Так. Видео. Шины, может быть. Это где? Не понял. Субтитры. Включены вот. Полный комментарий, все, окей. Да. Офигенно. Нет, я, наверное, скипнул. Давайте заново включим. Комментарии только что было. То вдруг я не все перевел. История человека по имени Стэн.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427 работников. Задача рабочего 427 была простая. Кнопки на клавиатуре. Ну, вообще легкая работа, по идее. Приказы шли с экрана на его столе, и в них указываешь, какие кнопки надо нажимать. В порядке. Ничего себе. Карантин я не могу. День каждый месяц для этой работы. Ага, он был садистом. Сейчас. А Стэн был счастлив, но однажды случилось нечто очень странное. Нечто, что навсегда изменило Стэнли, нечто, что он сможет забыть. Быстро, ладно, когда нам хочу выехать. Сейчас.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Так, комментарий. Когда сходишь постричься? Ну, карантин кончится и схожу, да. По донату сниму видео, сколько я получил, потому что очень много людей это спрашивает. Когда новый конкурс хочу выиграть. Не знаю, я еще не думал об этом. Так, в общем, мы с Стэнли, мы так заработали, что... Сколько сейчас времени? Ночь. Либо день. Ну, ночь, наверное. Все-таки никто не работает. Да, наверное, ночью. Стал как-то чил, когда в нашем кабинете ничего нет. Так, пойдемте. 420 работников. 28 есть, ладно. Говорили, что
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
случилось.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Что это? Тут что-то есть, подождите. Я хочу посмотреть. Блин, такие мониторы. Прыгать нельзя, ладно. Так. Никого нет вообще. 95-й. Так, идемте дальше, посмотрим.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Не хочу и хочу направо.
This was not the correct way to the
Неправильный
meeting
путь,
room,
как
and
красиво,
Stanley
если
knew it
прекрасно я это
perfectly
знал.
well.
Возможно, хотел
Perhaps he
заскочить.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Да. Е, да? Трогать. И что это? Опа.
Yes.
Ах да,
truly a
комнате
room
с...
worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Не буду читать, потому что первый текст быстро идет, а второе, ну, как бы читает человек. Да, есть субтитры.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Стилистик прикольный.
Really worth it.
Такое с размытием заднего фона, только они переборщили немножко, ну ладно.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Пойти туда.
Stanley was so bad at
Не
following
так
directions
следует
that
указаниям,
it's
даже
incredible he
странно.
wasn't fired
Его
years
не
ago.
уволили еще 5 лет назад. После мне интересно, она никого нету, можно походить, как бы. О. Так, ну, машина есть. Ничего себе, склад, ему это что, Икея здесь, что ли? А можно упасть? Сохраниться можно? Ладно. Прыгать нельзя, да, в этой игре? Ну, я так понимаю, нам надо сюда.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
Мне
off
кажется,
on the
мы
wrong
друг друга
foot
просто
here.
неправильно поняли.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
И
all
куда?
this time.
А,
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
для нее, для
This is
работы,
it,
наверное.
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Она ждала. Ага. Что, нам зайти? Давайте туда посмотрим. Кстати. Ай, блин, прыгать не могу. Ну, как бы нам только сюда и идти, как бы, логично. Еще большой склад. Ой, темная комната какая. Ох.
That's her, Stanley.
Так.
You need to be
Должен
the one
это
to
сделать
do
первым.
this,
Первым начать
to
с ней
reach
разговор.
out to
Если
her.
ты действительно хочешь
If
кому-то
you
доверять, возьми
truly
трубку.
place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Так.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Ой, Стэнли,
Hold
это
on,
ты?
sweetie. Sorry
Подожди,
to keep you
дорогой.
waiting.
Прости,
I'm
что
just
заставляю
putting
ждать.
bread out of the oven.
Я по спички достаю.
Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make
Понятно.
a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Ах ты обманщик-то.
This is a very sad
Очень
story
грустная
about the
история
death
смерти
of a
человека.
man named Stanley.
И все, больше ничего не могу делать, да?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Чего? Я не буду нажимать, ты чё? Мужику сделать еще? Нет. Как бы, подождем. Кстати, как она двинулась, я не понял. Ну ладно. Видите, О. Ну что другое нажать, ну ладно.
Look at him there, pushing buttons,
Ты на него
doing
стоишь.
exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
А тут есть телевизор. Вообще ничего делать-то, ну ладно.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought
Это его фантазии были.
excited him terribly.
У нас же нету сыновей. Это все время я печатаю. Как бы, слушайте звук, да? Галлюцинация получается. Ну, типа, я заснул. Да, прыжок не работает. Ачивка получена. Ладно, говори.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Ужин приготовить я могу, да.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Ладно, дальше. Мы ничего не можем делать, так что.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Даже нет жены, ну ладно.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
О, пойти поспать, вот эта тема,
And
да.
I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
А я нажму.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Что будет, если мы долго не будем отвечать? Кстати, это из превьюшки такое место. Это было место было, вот. Да, время идет. Хорошо, подождем.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Угу.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Это, наверное, была
Stanley
одна из
decided to go
концовок,
to the
да?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Интересно.
Yet there was
Открыться.
not a single person here either.
Как это?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ага. Задумал, что картинка откуда. Ладно, я вижу. Проектор. Так.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Внизу. Ладно, вверх. Стойте. Ага. Понятно, ничего наверху нет. Ладно, идемте вверх. Там машина есть, кто-то есть там.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him?
Да, это я, кстати, про дверь всегда видел, да.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Да.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Он спит на кровати, да.
His job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
Вау.
ground.
Да, это реально
Then
сон.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Не думаю.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
Он
He
докажет
would
это.
prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Привет,
the fresh
пророк.
air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to
Спайся.
himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Учеру. Это у вас в школе такое, да? Вместо карантина у вас учеру, да, вы на сайте?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Чука.
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Угу.
This is the story of a woman named
Это женщина
Mariella.
по имени Мариэла.
Mariella woke up on a day
На
like
самый
another.
утренний день она
She
встала,
arose,
оделась, собрала
got
вещи.
dressed, gathered
на
her
работу.
belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to
180
herself how lucky she was
игр
to
в
be
Стиме.
normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Вроде это были мы. Не знаю, да. Ага. Давайте просто закроем дверь и все. Все.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy, forever. I will be happy.
Лично не знаю, сколько стоит мой Steam аккаунт.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Так.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following
Так, я хочу упасть вниз, что будет упасть вниз.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Давайте теперь послушаем его и посмотрим, куда нам идти.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ничего себе, у него офис ему. А, и начальника нет. Ну, тогда я...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Подождите, 28... 74 вроде. 74.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do instead. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Неплохо. Вау. Это огромный рабочий комплекс. Так. Чего? Что же хранит начальник? Вау. Что какой-то бункер? А. Что сейчас? Не понял. Ладно. А. В глубину здания Стэн заметил, что чувствует себя как-то особенно.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Уже какой-то хор начинается, мне кажется. Ну, пойдемте дальше. А если бы прямо и зашел в дверь, на которой было написано «Станция управления созданием». Escape. Нет, я хочу выбраться из этого. Опа, я беру сразу.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Вау. Куча мониторов.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Я загорелась монитор, раскрыв свое настоящее
Each bore the
предназначение.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Вау, сколько работников. Ладно. Люди. Добавить людей.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ого, это что? Это уже ФБР?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
За
As the
язык.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ага, кнопочки. Головоломочка пошла, я понял. Так. Так, мне, кажется, надо найти кнопочку, наверное, 1. А? А, ну как паук там. Так, третья кнопочка где? Вот так он-то может открываться. Нет, где кнопочка 3? Я хочу... Давайте посмотрим здесь. Вот, потому что там кнопочка 3. Так, кнопочка 3. Кнопочка 4. Их можно нажимать, так что как бы и не нажать на них. Я все время нажимаю на кнопочки. Ну как бы как работаю. Наверное, не надо нажимать на кнопочки. Если я нажму на 5, то что-то случится. Так что мы пойдем, нажмем на 5 и выйдем. Ладно. Дверь закрылась? Нет. Секундочку.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it's... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Моих нет.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather
Давайте просто
amusing.
посмотрим на таймер.
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
Хотя нет.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be
Хотя
even
37 секунд,
better.
давайте посмотрим.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
Типа надо нажать на
That this video
кнопочки.
game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your friend?
Ладно, 30 секунд, если ничего не успеет, так что пойдемте. Смотрю на таймер, все равно ничего делать. Мы отсюда не выберемся, правильно? Любимая работа. И... Гнилоудинг.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Концовка, я не знаю. О! Чего? А я могу выйти, когда нажму. А давайте еще послушаем. Ладно. Эх. Конечно, картина у него, да, вообще.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Окей.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
А я попробую нажать отмена. Нет, кнопочку нет. Либо убежать. Не знаю. Хотя можно и то, и то. Бы нет. Так. Так, секундочку. Вот так вот.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Бежать можно.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
А если на то был, потому что ты меня обманываешь.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Опа-на. Не пойдем туда. А хотя... Хотя это загрузка. Что это?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned
Я могу двигаться.
and accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Опа.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
И мы выжили. Ладно. Остался идти только туда. Где Stanley Parable? Хотя... Ринг? Вау.
When every path you can walk has been created for you
Создан
long in
заранее?
advance, death becomes meaningless,
Тоже.
making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ага. Natural print. Ага. Да, это рисунки, которые были в игре. Ой, это карта офиса. Угу. Компьютер, двери. Офис. Button search, если... В общем, если нажать эти кнопки, то... Черт. Ага. Создатель игры. Так. Здесь у нас. Офис Компушан. Ну, все понятно, все в офисе играют как бы в пассианс. Ну, надо выключать это компьютер. На электричество. Это, кстати. Угу, документы. Секунду, мне брат позвонит. Секунду, я отвечу ему. Да. 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 Опять? Угу. 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 Ага. Ага. Угу. Угу. Да, получается, мне надо взять маски, замотать их и кинуть тебе. М. М. А можешь в пакет положить что-то тяжелое, чтобы он упал? Окей. Да. Это лучше. Надо кинуть еще маски сейчас. Давайте паузу, потому что, ну, меня профсили, да. Секундочку. На паузе постоим. Момент, да. Так. Все, вернулся. Отдал посылку брату там, да. Через балкон кинул ему, да. Привет, Техлокс, да. Я тоже пробовал сыграть, но там в эту игру, но там по кругам бегать 100 лет, мне стало скучно. Ну, я куда-то дошел, куда я не заходил раньше. Потом. Вот, кстати-то. Не, я думал, это картина с дверьми. Часы, офисные часы, ага. Это разный босс офиса. Либо как его создавали. Угу. 3 разные лестницы. Туда и туда. Ё-моё. Лифт какой-то есть. Дела отлично у меня дела, да. Так, эту локацию я не знаю, кстати. Вот эту красной кнопкой. Зендинг. Не понял. Я зашел сюда, мне игра вылетела? Реально? Меня. Подожди, это так либо должно, либо сейчас огромная локация окружается. Понимаю. Нет, у меня игра залагала, я не понял. Понятно. Наверное, какой-то скрипт должен был сработать. Давайте перезайдем в игру, окей. О, у меня скачано, ну, игр 20 примерно. И на секундочку. Диспетчер задач как бы поможет это. Да, игра не отвечает. Сейчас я ее заново запущу. Секундочку. Ну, у меня как бы один жесткий диск. Начать играть. Я же играл. Спасибо. Ладно, сейчас быстренько туда же доберемся. Нет, это мы видели в начале. Так. Сейчас быстренько до туда же доберемся.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Такие. Ну как у людей, да. Ну, как у некоторых ютуберов, я понял. Я еще умею под вебкой, да, я понял. Сейчас умею вот такие штучки делать. Сейчас. Они должны появиться на экране. И да.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping him coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Кстати, я не ответил на сообщение одного Кенни, да. По телефону разговаривать на стриме не очень. Но он как бы приехал сюда, и тут время карантина. 2854.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Последняя работа, что там последнее? Сейчас я. Сейчас. Колокольчик, наверное, не работает, да? Да.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Давай, пошел. Понятно. Печально достаточно, да. Сейчас мы доберемся до где мы остановились и да. Будем слушать, что он нам говорит, рассказчик. Другой нет рассказчика, другой более синий. Но текст у него более синий.
Felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not
туда
go
идти.
unanswered for
Да-да,
long.
пойдемте.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Нет, я буду в
Mind
escape.
Control
Сбежать хочу
Facility.
отсюда.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Мне кажется, запустится 4-я форза.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every
А 3-я
opportunity
точно
to turn
запустится у
around
тебя,
and
да.
get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
И запускается странно. У меня лично она запускается в 60 FPS на средних, да. Форза 4. А, 8 оператив. Ну. Я вроде с 8 оперативами запускал. Опа.
As the machine
Смерть.
went into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
Кстати, я забыл, да. Вот здесь закрыть. А то у меня светит в одну часть, да, лица.
Stanley can't see
Да.
the picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeball.
И что ты хочешь купить?
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Опа. Я спрятался.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you
Ну да, ты
long
можешь
in
давать
advance,
оперативки, да.
death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Секундочку. Да, момент. Чифтек на 700 ватт говоришь. Ща. Вот у меня чифтек на 800 ватт, да. Как видно? Да, нет. Сейчас. Вот такой у меня чифтех. Да, такой. Ну, модели, короче, А80. 750 ваттный. Ставлю. Да, мне тоже титаниум, кстати, 1050. Блин, она же вылетит, наверное, нет? Постоим, чтобы она там прогрузилась как-нибудь. Вот. Теперь пойдете налево. Ага. У меня отпалит тоже мини с одной вертушкой. Нет, не колючий, ладно. Если есть эти локации в игре, я не знаю, да. Ну, я не разгонял свою. Ага. Ничего не понял, ушел, логично. Да, так делают. 427 вроде это наш кабинет. Я помню, что он начинался с 4, а кончался с 7. Это будет наш кабинет. Так. этом месте мы были. Или в это. Так. Я думаю, я знаю, как тебе развивать канал. Давай, рассказывай. Мне интересно. О, разноцветная. Шоп-шоп. Появись. Заходим, заходим. Отходим, заходим. Это кнопочка. Офигенно. Так, The Stanley Parable.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Ага. Да, давай. Подрубим.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need
Они
one
нужны
another?
друг другу.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Это откаст, привет.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Нет. Как дела? Отлично. Я пройду
As
эту
long
игру.
as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
Не, ну это понятно. Не видел новый геймпад PS5. Кстати, загрузка, да? Темный экран просто. И что? Ладно, подождем. Ну, я хочу как бы много игр проходить, как бы не только сюжетных там. Ну да, в онлайн играх достаточно быстрее добавить аудиторию, людей, подписчиков и так далее. Так, и... А, игра еще идет. Подождем. Темный экран даже подождем. И волосы неудобно, да? Чекотят лоб. Так, понятно. Угу. А. Xbox, ага. Минус главное меню. И... Достижение вас вот им. 8. Угу. А. Хотите менее чем за 4 минуты, не считая загрузок? Пойдите. Как пройти за Stanley Parable? Ее можно пройти? Ну, значит, мы ее пройдем, да? Правильно, мы ее пройдем. Так.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Да не.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Осталась
he
еще
entered the
концовка.
door on his left.
Мы нажимаем Off, выключить систему.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ну, в PS Now у нас сначала купить. А как бы у меня как бы есть прохождение на канале. Да, да, правильно. Почему она сразу открылась? Ладно. В РДР нет, не играл. Не знаю, времени всегда нету, да. А если у меня есть время, то я смотрю какие-то видео на YouTube. Ага. На бэче, кстати, да.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life.
Так,
Their true nature
а где я?
Each bore the number of an employee of the building.
427.
Stanley's
Это вот
co-workers.
здесь.
The lives of so many
36.
individuals reduced to
Примерно мы,
images
короче,
on
в этом
screen.
углу.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ну да, она требовательная, я слышал, да. Вау.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
327,
Stanley
вот
really been
там
under
моя
someone's
комнатка.
control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Да,
That
вон
his
та.
emotions had been manipulated to
Ну,
accept
мы
it
пойдемте.
blindly?
А, вот лифт. Только кнопочек нету.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Я говорил, игра не говно. Я говорил, я не знаю эту игру, не хочу в нее играть.
Utterly blind to the world?
Я даже ничего не знал про эту игру, так что.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating,
О, красная
working.
кнопка.
All of it monitored and commanded from this very
Ладно.
place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power.
Я, кстати, PSN
over another human
продал.
life. For he
Понятно.
would dismantle
Ладно,
the
там.
controls once and for all.
Ну, с английской озвучкой лучше звучит, ладно. Оф. Вот лоудинг, я просто так шел сюда, я не знаю. И...
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Случилось? Нет.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
Warcraft, что это?
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Так, давайте почитаем комментарии. С русификатором в куче, ну, может быть, я не знаю. Если что мне нравится в PS, это GTS. Не знаю, что такое GTS, но, наверное, ты про GTA. Так, ты алмазы получил уже? Нет. Как их получить? А, Гран Туризмо Спорт. Ага, понятно. О, это вахка.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the
Ну, графика
feeling of
такая.
liberation, the immense
Я понял, Гран
possibility of
Туризмо,
the
да.
new path before him. This was exactly the way,
Блин.
right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley
Терит?
was happy.
А. Погулять. А игра-то пройдена. Надо просто было следовать за этим рассказчиком. Что я опять здесь делаю?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the
Ассасин круче? Ну, я мало в какие
All of
ассасины
his
играл.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
А Дима, тебя спрашивают, какие гонки лучше, я так понял. Ты шо? Никто не смеет мне. А давайте две крутить. Почему ачивку крутить дверь? Это прикольно же. Либо ассасина, либо гонки. Меня спрашивают, либо его. Так. Хочу ачивку, дайте мне ачивку. А, понятно. Ну просто раз еще это Assassin's Creed, ну ладно. Я просто в гонки так много не играю. Можно сказать, почти вообще не играю. Ну и бывает немножко. Ну ладно, ачивку не получаю, окей.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Heavy Rain, ага. Тяжелый дождь, я понял.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Она лучше и лучше, что ли? Я не знаю. Не знаю, мне больше всего нравится из гоночек это игра, которую я играл когда был моложе своих лет, где-то в 7 лет, нет, в 6 лет, 5, так. Я играл какую-то гоночки, короче, на таких маленьких машинках с антенкой. И там были какие-то бустеры, трастеры. Да, там было много разных карт. И, блин, прикольная игра была, я вообще там каждый день в нее играл.
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Опа. Вот, только я название игры не помню, а я поиграл бы, кстати, сейчас. Так. Сейчас я хочу обследовать полностью ту комнату светлую.
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
О, вот это плохо. Опа, я такой спрятался и вылез. И другой рассказчик такой говорит.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
Ну, это официальная озвучка от игры, как бы. Сейчас. Да, официальные, как бы, интонации все лучше, да.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart
Ну, конечно.
the game back in his office as
Не, читай
alive as
субтитры.
ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Не, ну, лично в Ведьмаке
Wherever
там...
path you
Сейчас.
can walk has been created for you long in advance. Death becomes meaningless.
А, да,
making
значит, ты
life
умер.
the
А,
same.
понятно.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ну, в Ведьмаке, в общем, русская озвучка, она немножечко бывает ускоряется, бывает замедляется. Офис. Так, здесь мы смотрели это. Так, что мы не смотрели еще? Вот здесь не смотрели. Это. The Office, ага. Таймер. Секунд. И телефон, короче, надо поднять. Нет, ну ладно. Так, что тут еще есть? Смотрю, да, после. Так, что тут у нас? On option. Ага, понятно, идем дальше. Так, куда я? Да. Может, заблюды. Много мест, кстати, вот. Да, в это место нельзя входить. Или у тебя компьютер зла игра лагает, да? Йен. Сюда заходишь, и у меня уже второй раз вылетает. Можно к ней выйти отсюда? И все, да, это? Нет, два раза не может вылетать в одном и том же месте. Оу, я могу двигаться. Можешь как-то выйти отсюда? А, ну да. Да, это все, типа. Ладно, давайте выйдем, зайдем заново. Туда больше заходить не будем. А еще справа осталось вроде одно место. Главное не выключить ОБС, правильно? Так. Давайте я вам покажу экран, чтобы вы видели, вдруг вам скучно. Так. Задачу игру. Да. Коронавирус, да. Так. И начнем заново. Да, запустим игру. И Stanley Parable. Я направо и, наверное, закончим этот стрим, потому что... Ну, если там такая же будет большая развилка, как и слева, то еще поиграем. Вот если нет, то нет. Да, это мы слушали. Так. Все, не открыть тебя дверь наш, окей.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Точно, мы еще налево можем повернуть там. Тут так много консолек вообще.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ага, нет, я хочу сюда спуститься. Куда это ведет? Интересненько. О, загрузка. Да.
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Ладно, налево как налево, окей.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Ага.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Вперед.
It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
А, сценарий у него.
Let's see, we went down, right, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Опа! Не собьешь меня. Ой, собьешь, нет? Да? Ладно.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Ясно, ладно.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Тогда давайте быстренько вернемся
When
тут.
Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Что?
Did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
Yeah.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure.
Тут
that it's here
есть.
somewhere.
Ага.
Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ё-моё. Куда идти-то? Идемте в эту дверь. Ё-моё. Это какой-то лабиринт. А, да. Я вспомнил ту локацию. А, нет. Не понял.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Есть сколько здесь развилок.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
А налево?
Stanley decided to go to the
Ладно.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Пустая комната.
Okay,
О, дверь. Нет.
aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Это невозможно.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Да он меня ведет, это лабиринт какой-то. Ладно. Оу. Воу.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
О,
Well, do you know what?
дойти.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this?
А, заново.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in
Я
a lot of
выиграл,
hard work,
да.
and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Опять перезапуск, ё-моё. Он сам перезапускает. О,
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Stanley Parable
Just
Adventure
follow the
Line.
How simple is that?
Чего? Это как это? Так.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of
О, такое
moving
место, кстати.
forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Офигенно.
Well, I'd like to apologize.
Так.
Go with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Офигенно вообще. А, музыки просто добавил. Ага. Та-та-та-та-та. А, шестой кабинету. Неплохо. Что там? Ничего нету. Свет. А лампочка. Красный свет. Сейчас будет что-то громко, да? Нет? Ладно. Да. Я здесь не был, ну ладно. Так, в полосе идем.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Да, я здесь был. Ну, я понял. Запомнил, да. Тут-ту-ду.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Офис? Нет?
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
А, она что? Ладно, эта полоса как бы идет так, окей. Я как бы сама себе рисует, я так понимаю. Ого.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
И загрузка,
Restart.
черт. Так. Сюда пробовал.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Можем?
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Оу. Давай.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Понятно, мы идем по коридору, это как-то...
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just
Мониторами,
don't
ага.
acknowledge it. We should be fine.
Хорошо, окей, я не буду обращать, я просто пойду прямо. Полоса наверх, значит, нам нужно наверх, да? Воу.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Шанс.
How important we mustn't squander
Окей, давай,
the
давай,
opportunity.
открывай.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really
Еще
how
раз.
all this goes?
Так,
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
Нет, не знаю,
I
прикол с
want the
твоими
game
можешь
to keep
рассказать, да.
restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Понятно.
Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
Yeah.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
что?
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
Потом окей.
Nothing will break me.
Не, ну я все правильно сделал, да,
I'll be
сейчас?
happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
Откройте.
Years gone by. He no longer had the ability to tell.
А, окей,
But the one
Оскар.
thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
Время... А, нет,
Now
время
it's
идет.
even closer. Here it comes. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Исчезла. О, здесь появилось снова две двери.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.
Я хочу посмотреть
well.
вон там, чтобы
Perhaps he wanted to
какой
stop
путь
by
там
the
есть.
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Хочу туда
Wow.
попасть.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Так, вот здесь. Куда я могу
Stanley was
попасть?
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Здесь я могу попасть максимум, что... Здесь можно? И карточку надо, да? Эту карточку. Ладно. Вы вниз падали, туда попадали, здесь дверь открыта, давай то
Look,
пойдем.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
Так.
is that the story has been about nothing but you
Может, не так
all this
высоко.
time. There's someone you've been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Кстати. Нельзя войти, ладно, дальше. Красная и
Now
синяя
listen
дверь.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Пойдем в синюю дверь.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the
Не-не-не.
red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't
Да-да.
let me stop you.
Вау.
You see? There's nothing here.
Как
I
ничего
haven't
нет?
even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the
Да,
entire
именно это.
story I'd written out specifically for you?
Классная концовка,
Do you
Кикс.
not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what.
Тут есть
Take a
три
stab in
входа
the
еще в
dark
эту
at a new
комнату.
design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
А ради концовки мне надо идти в желтую комнату, оранжевую комнату. Для концовки. Столько много концовок, ладно.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game
второе
benefited
место,
from
окей.
allowing you
Да.
more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Да, лучше 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous
других только лабиринт, окей.
playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Воу.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Оценка влияет на что-то?
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Пускаю. Загрузка и опять заново.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Воу. А я получу ачивку. Вот это контент прям вообще, да. Эй! Стой, 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 стой. Остановись! Это глупость. Я в его не упаду. Не, ну я хотел его спасти, как бы.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
О, еще какая-то игра.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Офигенно, это игра в игре. Игра в игре, в игре, в игре. Майнкрафт?
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose.
Где?
Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Где? О,
This will go here,
дом, конечно, говно, ну ладно.
here, and then...
Это трон какой-то. Это что для собаки какой-то дом?
What does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off,
Верстак.
yes,
Вау!
complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it.
Это лучший дом в
Gaze
мире.
upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
От нельзя никуда идти. Нельзя? Ладно. Точек.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Может быть, будет, да. Опа, а я так обманул игру и... Чёрт, не обман. Игра обманула меня.
My, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
И чем посветить там? А, сопли тут пошли, да, совсем, да. Рабочих. Хрипер.
No. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Паук.
Diamonds couldn't
Валим.
save this one. Okay, new game.
Телефон от назад поставить, ладно. Так. Ну и... Портал 1! Вы играли, кстати, да.
Yes, I don't even know what
А
this
прошлый
game is,
стрим-то
but
был
I
по этой игре.
love it.
Это вроде второй
You
портал.
trapped in a glass
А, нет, первый.
box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's
Вау,
fine.
неплохо.
I couldn't have done it any better myself.
Да, это первый
What
портал.
is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Нужно нажимать на кнопку. Мы вчера прошли эту игру.
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. You're
Только день назад прошли портал вроде. Да. Играли в него.
genius.
А, не, 2 дня назад, да, простите. Вау.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then, I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Воу. Да. Да. Ага. Я правильно сделал? Нет? А как выйти? Офигенно. Просто офигенно. Куда идти? Фильм кабинет. Да. Ага. Чё, не понял, но стало интересно, да. Я ничего не могу взять и побить. Уи. А это что за игра? Свет. О, что это? Кабинет. Что мне делать? Ага. Ладно.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Всем скоро конец.
I can wait.
Подожду. Конец типа, когда... Да. Запустим игру, так понял. Ну, не знаю, мы вроде уже везде сходили. Ой. Просто выйдем, да. Мне кажется, мы уже везде проходили, просто ходили туда, обратно. Давайте посмотрим титры. Да. Нет, вдруг там авторские права не будем. Мне кажется, что мы прошли уже большую часть концовок, мы нашли. Увидели, посмотрели. Вот. Да, и на этом будем заканчивать стрим по данной игре. The Stanley Parable. Вот. Ладно. В общем. Так, вы понравился стрим, можете подписаться на канал, ставьте лайк. Поставьте ВКонтакте. Посмотрите другие плейлисты. А с вами был Шутер. Всем до свидания, всем пока.